Welcome back to another review, this time for the anime Teogonia. This anime had 12 episodes and was airing in spring of 2025. The synopsis from my anime list: in the harsh region known as the Borderlands, humans must fight an endless battle against demi-humans, creatures that come at them relentlessly, intent on taking their land and their gods. A young boy named Kai, fighting to defend his village, sustains a life-threatening injury that causes him to regain memories from a past life. If you're not a guardian bearer, it's like you're playing life on hard mode. Kai's newfound knowledge gives him a new sense of the unfair rule set that governs the world around him. One thing is clear: for those without a god to serve as their guardian, life is a constant struggle for survival. Thus begins the epic tale of a young boy's ascent into a vast world filled with magic, bloodshed, and mystery. Now, the synopsis alludes to like isekai. It's not really. It's adjacent. So our main character, he gets like pieces of knowledge, very specific knowledge from the past life. As example, he gets like the knowledge of that everything around us is made of atoms, and you could separate objects if you can slice between those atoms and their connection. You could slice through more or less anything. The similar, he gets like the knowledge that to healing the body or something is more or less just increasing the, not metabolism, but the rate of the cell division in that particular body. So the more cells divide, the more, stuff grows back, essentially. So he gets like pieces of knowledge. He doesn't get like, oh, I was the XYZ in Tokyo. No. None of that. He gets like little pieces of knowledge that for some reason he needs at this moment. So this anime was... I feel like this story could have had potential. Now, I like the world. I like the whole idea behind this. It is very interesting. So you have land, normal land, like everywhere else, and most of these lands have a god assigned to them. Some kind of deity. They have like a stone that is their, I don't know what exactly, but this is their connection from the god to this land. Now, creatures can then go and receive the blessing of the gods. They get some of the power of the god. In return, they more or less are connected to the god stone and the land. Which means if the land is for some reason injured, that means you, the bearer of this god stone, you also get, you get backlash. Because you did not protect your land, you get injured, essentially, or you get debuffed because your land is not doing well. On the other hand, if you do well and you get stronger and, you train good and stuff like that, then the land also grows in strength, getting more fertile, better for everyone around. So it's an interesting idea. So you can be the bearer of this god stone or the goddess blessing, and you are connected to the land. You do good, land does good. Land does not good, you do not good. So you have like a connection and a reason to protect your land. I do like this. The second part I really like is that every creature has like a god stone, they're called. It's similar, it's like next to the heart, seemingly. You can remove that is like, looks like some kind of nut. And you can break it open, and inside is like an ambrosia, like some kind of liquid or, semi-liquid. Something a little bit more viscous maybe. And you can then drink this and you get stronger. You get some of their spiritual power, it was said. So there's like something like spiritual power, which is like seemingly like a life force type of thing. And if you lose all of your spiritual power, you more or less die. If you lose your Godstone, which houses seemingly your spiritual power, you die. If you get your heart pierced, I assume you die. I don't really know. You die. You can die in the normal way, we know, and you can die by getting your Godstone removed or destroyed. Now this, this gives us an explanation how you can more or less get stronger. You can train, sure. However, to get really stronger, you defeat stronger enemies. You take their Godstone, you drink the liquid inside, you take some of their power inside you, you get stronger. You get stronger, your land gets stronger. And the stronger your land, the more fertile your land. There's some connection here. We have like a level up system, more or less, or a system where you can grow stronger. That is explained. This also explains the hierarchy. Now, Kai is part of like a village town thingy, and they defend against like enemies. So we have different enemies like some kind of orc race and some kind of big ape race. They're called Muraks or so. So they defend the leader of the town, which is the bearer of the god of this land, and their children. And they defend this town with everyone else. You have like normal guys. Kai is the normal guy at the beginning, and his friends or the other ones, they're like militia. And you do see the strengths. Our more or less chef, the village elder, or the mayor, I don't really know what kind of title he has, but the big boss. He can defeat those big apes. He can defeat one alone, no problem. He can even fight two of them at the same time. He's not going to have a problem. Even three he can take on. While the normal guys, Kai as example, you need like 2 or 3 of those militia to take down one of these apes. Meaning, naturally, we all fight, we defeat all the apes, we take the Godstones, and everyone gets a piece of the Godstones. Because everyone gets stronger this way. However, the mayor, the big boss, he gets the most. And it makes sense. In other shows, it could be like greed and stuff, sure. Here it makes sense because if he gets stronger, the land gets stronger. The land gets stronger, more fertile, more food, everyone is more happy. So it makes sense. We have a nice explanation. I like that. I like the system around. It's pretty nice. Naturally, in the story, Kai also gets like a bearer blessing, and he is then also has like a land and stuff, and he has a reason to take these Godstones. I mean, everyone has a reason to try to take as many Godstones as they can because they get stronger this way. The stronger you are, the bigger your ranking, or the higher your ranking, the more influence and the more you get. It's simple. The stronger you are, you get more stuff. It's similar to the Middle Ages. Because if you're stronger, then the big boss could be like, hey, you could be a captain or whatever. You get more food, you get everything more. Understandable. Now, this is, in my opinion, the interesting part. We do also have different races, which can be interesting. Now, our guy, Kai, he gets the blessing of the arbitration god, or the valley god, and he's the arbitration god. I don't know, I felt like it was the same, but then they separated this somehow. I don't know. However, he's like the arbitration god. Now, I like the idea because supposedly he is super strong, or the previous incarnation of this god was super strong. And I like the idea of like, instead of having an OP character to rescue the world, defeat the Demon King, yada yada yada, we have someone who's growing stronger, and his whole purpose is to balance the world. Be like Marvel, Thanos, bring balance to the world like everything should be. I like this idea, and it felt like at the beginning this was the whole point of this arbitration god, to be like, hey, if something happens, he comes in and he's trying to balance stuff out. He's not really on the side of humans, not on the side of the demi-humans or whatever. He just is there to, keep everything balanced. And if something comes up that should not be there, he's there to remove that. However, it seems like that they are like, hey, you are the chosen one, you have to rescue the world or save the world. I don't know if that just means, hey, you need to balance everything, and everything that is, really dangerous to the world, you need to remove. We don't really get too far in that story. But I would like that just, hey, you have someone who's just to balance stuff. He's not, because in most cases you have no P character and he's on the side of, whatever his race is, mostly human. In this case, it would be like, hey, I'm on neither side. I'm just here to make sure the world doesn't go to shit. And for that reason, I need to, balance stuff. If humans get too strong, then, we have to cull some of those. Now, this is mostly the good part, in my opinion. Animation was fine. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. I would say it's fine. Characters are... I like different depths of character. I don't really like that characters are always nice or good. In this case, we have a couple different characters that, we have like camaraderie, where Kai is at the bottom rank. We have the higher ranks, as example, the big boss of this town. He seems to be like the what is called noblesse oblige or something along those lines. He's like, hey, this is my land, I need to protect it. I do everything to protect this land. He's not evil, he's not like the corrupted official. He's like, hey, this is my land and I'm doing everything to defend this land. Which seems pretty, seems pretty good. Seems like he got brought up in that way. We don't really have many like evil characters. There are like 3 characters that are trained. We have the stupid evil character. As always, we have to have one of those. Then we have the typical character that is jealous of our main character, which is strange a little bit. There's one character that acknowledges or knows that everyone around them is calling our character like God, a specific god of like arbitration. He has a specific name. And that one character is like, yeah, no, I don't believe you. Bitch, what the fuck? Just accept, hey, he's the guy, just help him. He's not here to fuck you over, he's here to help you. This is always a strange part. Oh, I don't want help. I don't care. Get fucked. Here, you get help. It's not about you, it's about all the other people that are involved. Then we also have some strange happenings. So in one scene, we get into a big fight and we have like big fights going on, and our main character is coming in as the bearer. Now he's trying to hide that, to be like, on, I believe someone told him to better hide it. So he tries to hide it, fine. So no one knows he's like a bearer. He's pretty strong, no one really knows. So he fights, this was an attack in a fight with those big apes. And as I said, our big boss in the town, he can like fight 3 of them without any problems, but he's fat. He's fat. He's like 20-0 in like a League of Legends match. He's big. He has big, stats. So no wonder. And you need like 3 normal militia to fight one of those 8. Now we see our guy. He's fighting like 8 of them. Single-handedly and defeating them without help, really. And no one is like... weird? A little weird? That they say, hey, you're pretty strong. And I would be like, he's not strong. This is inhuman. This is not something you should be able to do. Fight 8 of them at the same time. You should probably question that a little bit more. But they don't ever, which is weird. But okay. Additionally, we have with the this is something I find a little bit strange because it was a little bit more set up. So wherever his land is, he is meeting someone, and that someone is more or less their his right hand man. Somewhat, really somewhat. And that is not really, we don't really go further into it. So there's a character that is, for some reason, that character is landing next to the Godstone. And this character is not allowed to leave. So this character is going to make their home there more or less. And it felt like there's some connection between that character and our guy, because this is where his Godstone is. But we don't really get too far into it. At the beginning, we have like a connection that gets deepened a bit, and then it's falling to the side a little bit, which is... I would have liked a little bit more there. Altogether, it's really weird. I do like some of the lore systems. Again, the Godstone thing, land stuff, gods and their connections, each working on each other. You get stronger, land gets stronger, land gets weaker, you get weaker. It's a cool system. You can fight other gods. You can more or less remove the gods. You can curse the Godstone, which then affects you because, something happens to the land or the Godstone. You get affected by that, and vice versa. And it's like, you have good ideas here. Hey, how you can get stronger with the Godstones and taking more or less the power of other people into you, or the spiritual power. There's a lot of interesting stuff that is here. However, some of the parts are just strange. One of the things, which I don't understand. So there's a scene where someone wants to go out the door of the big city. So there's a crank. He's cranking the crank. Now this more or less opens a door, or it doesn't open a door. It's like a fall door that is just falling down, and with a crank you can pull it up. Okay, that is the idea. You pull the crank, and the door is more or less going from vertical to horizontal. It is lifting up the bottom up so you can leave. Now because he's in a hurry, he takes the sword and he cuts the rope, which then just opens the door. Somehow it lifts up the door even though the rope is gone. This is not a spring door, in which case you could have maybe done this. It doesn't work that way. Very weird. It's probably just an error in animation, storytelling, whatever. But that was very weird for me. Again, the fights are like, okay. Some of the character moments are questionable. Our characters, it's half-half. Half of the time he's pretty good. He's like, someone is coming up to him and he's like, hey, we need your help. And he's like, no, I'm not going to help you. And it's like, hey, cool, okay. He has like his own principles, ideas, cool. we have like a character, and on the other hand, it's like people do stuff, and he's like, oh no, and it's like, how's the you were such a good character a moment ago, and now you're like 180s, like meh. It's like, why can't you be cool the whole time, or like, you know, your own character? Now naturally he does have like the god in him, the blessing, and this god seemingly has like some influence over him, which also doesn't get brought up enough. One of them is like, hey, kill this specific bearer for some reason. He gets told that like for a couple seconds, and then it's gone, which is like, I would have liked this a little bit more in the background. I'm assuming in the original it would have been a little bit more permanent, a little bit more obnoxious. In the anime, it's like just a little bit, like a couple seconds, do something. Most of the time it was just kill XYZ, because that is the job of the arbitration god, seemingly. It is, again, I like some of the systems. They could be really good. I feel like in half the stars, half the anime is pretty interesting. Other half is like, people gave it a 6.9 on Anime List, and on Any List they gave it 66%. I would say it's a 7 out of 10. I feel like this could have gone in a really good direction, but there are some parts that are really, like the isekai parts are just very strange, that it's like Deus Ex Machina. You need a specific piece of knowledge. There you go. Now you have the knowledge. As example, the healing knowledge. He learns that you can heal this way, not because, you know, he gets the knowledge now. No, it's because he needs it. He needs the knowledge right now. So he gets knowledge. And it's like, a little bit meh. In a good isekai, you could have set the groundwork beforehand. Like, he's a doctor, as example, for healing, and then he's in an isekai world and he's fighting or whatever, and then he has to, you know, treat someone. If he was a doctor in his old life, you know, he has some knowledge he can use for that. But in this case, he gets the knowledge when he needs it, which is takes a little bit away from his isekai knowledge. Again, 7 out of 10. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Some of these systems are really, really interesting. Somehow there are some parts that did not gel well with me, though, sadly.